let's look at the ligaments that most commonly come up for a yoga teacher. And these are obviously going to be the ones where our students might come to us with injuries. So let's start with the knee. The most commonly injured ligament in the knee is the ACL. ACL stands for anterior cruciate ligament. It is deep in the middle of the knee and attaches to your tibia and fibia, those bones in the lower half of the leg. The ACL and also the PCL, the posterior cruciate ligament, cross in the center of your knee. And this limits anterior and posterior translation. So if you were kicking a football, it stops that shin bone from shooting off. It limits that movement, keeping your leg attached. You also have your MCL and your LCL in the knee. So that's your medial collateral ligament and your lateral collateral ligament, MCL and LCL. Stability in the medial and lateral plane. So that's the knee tracking straight forwards, not pushing in or out. So in a yoga pose such as Warrior Two, it's that alignment of the knee, not letting it fall in too much or not letting it push out too much. This is commonly injured in skiing when the ankle goes one way and the knee the other, football. Also in yoga there is a risk in things like lotus pose. If you're pulling the ankle in and you don't have flexibility in the knee, that could push out in that LCL, that lateral collateral ligament. So next up you have the sacroiliac ligaments. So the sacrum being that back wall of your pelvis, and the ilium, these ear-shaped bones that come out around the side of my pelvis. So my sacroiliac ligaments are going across those joints there, bringing the sacrum and the ilium together. Now these are thick, strong ligaments because they support the weight bearing and stabilizers when we're walking. In yoga poses, we need to be careful in over twisting in the hips and bringing in an SI joint instability. Also taking too many asymmetrical poses on one leg before swapping and doing the other. So say if you're doing like Warrior Two, Trikonasana, Ardha Chandrasana, Parsvakonasana, too many one-legged asymmetrical poses before you balance them. Locust pose, on the other hand, is great for the sacroiliac ligaments because it really solidifies and strengthens the support structures around the sacroiliac joint. Now, next up, you have sprained ankle. So one or more of the ligaments on the outside of the ankle can be torn or overstretched. Quite common and really painful. Again, slow to heal because ligaments have a very poor blood supply. Plantar fasciitis, this is an interesting one when it comes to the ligaments. Plantar fasciitis is definitely something you're going to have your students grumbling about. And it is a pain and an inflammation of the plantar fascia, which connects the calcaneus, your heel bone, up into the toes. Whilst within the plantar fascia is a very strong, it can have repetitive stress injuries that cause micro tears in the ligaments. And this can lead to a real stabbing pain in the foot, usually in the heel or in the arch of the foot. You will come across students with plantar fasciitis. It's often a lifestyle issues, so wearing bad shoes, for instance. This one's a little bit more detailed, but something you're likely to come across, which is shoulder separation. So this can often happen when someone's taken a blow or a hard fall on the shoulder or on their hand. It's also known as AC, acromioclavicular separation. It's a common injury in the acromioclavicular joint. So this is where my clavicle comes into the scapula. So it is not the same as a dislocated shoulder, but rather it's a tearing of the ligaments that connect the scapula and the clavicle. So we're going to leave that there. We'll come back to this in your next video.